Good day, fellow participants of the second Multi-Disciplinary Pedagogical Research Conference 2024, sponsored by FEU Roosevelt. I am Romil Albiso from Philippine Science High School Central Visayas Campus, and I would like to present the results of my research entitled The Effectiveness of Easy Test as Substitute for Class Examples During Class Discussions. Mathematics is needed for society to function effectively, and it's important since not just in the classroom setting, but to everything that people do. Mathematics competence is being connected as a prerequisite and predictors of social progress and economic growth. Mathematics education and students' mathematical achievement becomes an important key indicator of human and economic capital growth. Mathematics plays a vital role in the growth and development of a country, and it's important for education sectors to give emphasis in the mastery of this field. However, in the Southeast Asia Primary Learning Matrix 2019, Philippines obtained scores in the learning domain of mathematics below the mean. Only 17% of the grade 5 students from the Philippines only met at or above the minimum proficiency behind Vietnam, Malaysia, and Cambodia. In addition, in the PISA 2022, 15-year-old students in the Philippines scored 14 points in average in the newly introduced creative thinking assessment, placing the Philippines in the bottom 4 among 64 countries. Low mathematics competency is also observable in the researchers' locale. Students could not have a consistent results during the readiness examinations, where there are years where the set of students are above the mean, and there are also years where the set of students are below the mean. The possible reason or causes of these scenarios are the following. Number one, students' mathematical competency or mastery of the subject matter is not very good. Students' mathematical anxiety is very high, or self-efficacy or confidence is very low, and the delivery of instructions is not very effective. And thus gives us the objective of this study. We would like to look for teaching strategy that may help improve the mathematical performance of our students and test its effects in the enhancement of mathematical performance of the students. In looking for this, we would like to have the following criteria. Number one, the delivery of instruction should help the delivery of instruction. Number two, decrease the students' mathematical anxiety. Number three, improve the self-efficacy or confidence of our students. This research focuses on the effects of the Feel Easy examination strategy on the students' mathematical performance. The Feel Easy examination is a type of teaching strategy that uses an easy examination, which encapsulates the bare minimum of objective of the previously discussed topics to start the class discussion, instead of reviewing or showing an example of the previously discussed topics. For the limitations of this study, the topics used for this study only focuses on algorithmic and step-by-step topics in the mathematics lessons. The idea of the Feel Easy examination is to conduct an easy exam where students will probably get high scores. In return, will boost their self-confidence in doing maths and improve their mathematics self-efficacy. With the increase of self-efficacy, it is expected that there will be an increase in mathematics performance. This study or this teaching strategy is anchored in the three learning theories, which is the self-efficacy theory by Albert Bandura, which states that students with high self-efficacy or individuals' belief in his capacity to execute tends to lead to better performance. The attribution theory by Bernard Weiner states that students who attribute their academic successes to internal factors or those with high academic confidence are more likely to perform well. And by learning by doing by John Dewey, which uses experience to assimilate concepts through actions, which encourages the students to learn from mistakes and draw some conclusions. This research aims to address the following problem statements. Number one, what is the entry level of respondents before exposure to the intervention? Number two, what is the exit level of the respondents after exposure to the intervention? Number three, is there a mean gain in the experimental group after exposure to the intervention? And lastly, is there a significant difference between the post-test mean scores between the controlled group and the experimental group? And here are the results and the discussion on the answers of the SOP of this research. Number one, entry level of respondents before exposure to the intervention. For the data analysis, respondents were categorized according to above average, average, and below average category. This was done through frequency distribution table, and this is verified using single value t-test. And based on this frequency distribution table, we can see that 76.67% of the respondents belong to the below average category, 7 or 23.33% belongs to the average category, and none of the respondents belong to the above average category, which implies that the entry level of our respondents in the experimental groups belong to the below average category. We would like to check also the exit level of the respondents after exposure to the intervention. For the data analysis, we would like to again categorize our respondents according to above average, average, and below average category. And this is done through frequency distribution table and verified using single value t-test. Using the frequency distribution table, we can see that 63.33% now belongs to the above average category, 30% belongs to the average, and 6.67% belongs to the below average category, which implies that the respondents in the experimental group belongs to the above average category. In the problem statement number 3, we would like to check, is there a significant mean gain in the experimental group after exposure to the intervention? Using student t-test at alpha is 0.05, it has been found out that there is a significant difference between the pre-test versus the post-test scores of the experimental group, which implies that there is a mean gain in the experimental group, further implying that there is an improvement in student performance. The FEU Easy exam was able to show that the intervention was able to increase the competency of the respondents in the experimental group and could be used as an effective teaching strategy. Because of the easy exams as substitutes of review discussions, students were able to accomplish and ace the FEU Easy exams where they gained confidence in their abilities, and this transpired into better understanding in the topics taught. The results of this experiment were also mentioned in the researches of Chimers and Garcia in 2021, where there is a positive association between students' academic self-efficacy beliefs and their academic performance, where students who reported higher level of academic self-efficacy tended to achieve better grades. Also, in the research of Pajares in 1996, we found out that the master experience, particularly successful performance accomplishments, plays a crucial role in shaping and strengthening students' self-efficacy. We also found out that students with high self-efficacy leads to a better academic outcomes. In addition, in Chemers and Garcia in 2021 study, it highlights the importance of confidence in predicting academic success and adaptation to college life. With these results, however, it doesn't mean that the FEU Easy exam is better than the traditional approach. In our problem statement number 4, this is answered. We would like to check if there is a significant difference in the post-test scores of the experimental group and the control group after exposure to the intervention. Using student t-test at 0.05 alpha, it has been found out that there is no significant difference between the post-test scores of the experimental group versus the control group, which means that the FEU Easy exam is comparable to the traditional approach. This means also that the intervention was not able to provide better scores or results or better mathematical proficiency compared to the usual way of teaching or delivery of instructions. However, it is important to take note that the FEU Easy examination was able to change the categorization level of our respondents in the experimental group from below average category to above average category. In conclusion, the research found out that the entry level of the respondents in the experimental group before the intervention was below average category, and using the intervention FEU Easy examination, the exit level now of our respondents in the experimental group is above average category. And using student t-test, it was found out that there is a significant difference between the pre-test and post-test scores of the experimental group, which implies that the FEU Easy strategy were able to improve the respondents' mathematical performance after the intervention. And lastly, there was no significant difference between the post-test scores of the experimental group versus the control group, which implies that the FEU Easy strategy can be considered a better substitute to the traditional teaching strategy. Thank you for your attention and have a wonderful day, everyone.